Thank you for joining. This is Thank Me for My Cervix. My name is Shawna Enderly. I am your host. Bear with me. I am getting over a little cold. And we're waiting today for Tobias Vincent to join us. He is an author of a book and a Marine vet. I'm excited. Okay. Yay! Okay, view has... Did I do it? Is it working? There might be like a little bit of a delay. Hey,
What up?
guys. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for making time to do this with me today.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
I want to start by saying how we know each other, so your beautiful wife, which I hope she's joining on here soon because that would be awesome.
Yes.
You've been nanny for Ford and Bow.
Right. Yeah.
And because we were
It's
both
been a
stationed
while too.
in Camp Homestead.
Yes.
Okay. And what did you do and what was your job when you were active duty?
So my MOS was 0111. I was an administrator. I basically made sure people got their awards, got paid, taken care of, and processed in and out of the Marine Corps.
Okay. And did you do that the whole time?
I did. I
And
did.
then where was your boot camp? Where did you go to boot camp? Were you in East Coast or West
I
Coast?
was West Coast. I went to San
Okay.
Diego. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Um, where are you from originally?
I was born in Idaho. I was born in Boise, Idaho. I lived there for about 8, 10 years and then moved out to Vancouver, Washington.
Okay. Can you tell me one other city? Because I don't know any other city. So you tell me one other one. In,
Okay, from in where? From where?
from like the only one I know is Boise.
Okay, so Portland, Oregon. We're like 20 minutes. Let's see here. Do you know where Portland is? Or heard of Portland? Okay, so we're like 20 minutes south or north of Portland.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what are you doing now?
I am a certified youth peer counselor, so I work with youth who basically are facing like similar struggles to what I've faced or going through some huge changes in life or, trying to come out, finding their sexuality and things like that. I help them kind of with their mental health struggles and getting through all their struggles and kind of showing them ways that you can go through darkness and come out to light.
I really love that. I remember even when you very first started doing it, I wasn't quite in my like growth period. So um, I am glad because seeing your stuff and seeing how strong you've been through that also has helped me along the way. And that's why I'm very excited that you joined with me today on this. Can we go in a little bit of what made you want to write your book and tell me about your book?
For sure. So honestly, I started writing poetry when I was in the Marine Corps. I was just going through some shit and kind of didn't know how to process through my emotions, and I enjoyed writing since a very young age. So I started gathering emotions and putting them onto. I've never actually written a poem on paper. Like the only poems I've ever written is through the notes on my phone. And so,
Okay.
yeah, so I basically take this emotion that I was feeling, the super strong emotion that I couldn't process through, and I'd put it into a word. I'd put this emotion on in my notes and I'd kind of dance around what I was feeling, what I was seeing, what I was hearing, things like that. And I would try to paint a picture with my words to process through that. I started with writing it and then I decided to basically not look at my writing after I wrote it. It was my way of, it was kind of like a burn paper, right? Like you write it and then you burn your piece of paper. Is I didn't want to fucking think about it again.
Yeah.
So after trying that for some time. It wasn't working, so I started therapy and stuff like that, and just started kind of getting into the mental health world and understanding myself more. Excuse me.
I know, me too. Me too.
Yeah,
What's okay?
yeah. My mouth is so dry. Okay,
Water breaks. We'll take like 5-minute water breaks.
okay, cool.
And
That's perfect.
everybody should. 5 people
Yeah,
watching,
exactly,
every single one of you.
exactly.
Hydrate.
OSHA's watching. Yeah. Okay, so basically, I kind of got into writing. I didn't really think about a book. I didn't think about anything. I ended up once I was out of the Marine Corps, I kind of started understanding social media. And so I made like my first mental health page and started kind of putting my poetry out there for the first time. It it got some attention, and I ended up getting a couple magazine features, and like that's when I started taking my writing more serious and like actually trying to paint a picture to other people of what was going through my head rather than just me reading it.
Right.
Um, so basically through that process and those magazine features, there was a couple companies that reached out to me asking to publish books, and now I'm learning like there's a ton of companies out there that are constantly reaching out to authors trying to steal their money. So, yeah. So my experience with my company now that I went with has been not very well. Um, so that's besides the point. But so I decided going with this company about 2 years after not really writing much. And I was super manic. I wasn't really thinking about anything, and I just decided to pull the trigger on it. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna take all my writing and I'm gonna put it into a book and hope, that I can just help one person feel like they're not alone or not understanding how to process what they're going through like I did. And my wife was pretty mad. I didn't tell her that I was doing this, and it was super last minute. So she was pretty frustrated about this, and like it was hard for me because I was too scared to put my voice out there. I didn't want to be that vulnerable. Like I was really scared
It's
to show
hard.
certain sides of
It's
me. It
really
is.
hard.
It sucks. It's really hard, and like I've just like I'm sure you have, like I facing a lot of judgment. Like every day we face judgment, and so like those things are super hard, and like criticism is very hard, whether it's sometimes even if it's good, like you're hard on yourself sometimes, so it's hard to
Right.
even accept the good criticism. Um, but that was kind of the process, and I just kind of took off with it, and I took what I had and I threw it into a book, threw together a manuscript, and it ended up winning an award within their little publishing company, and it got like top
Really?
seller within their company for a little bit, and it took
I
off and
love
it did
that
pretty
so
good.
much.
Thank you.
So, what's the name of your book? Did we
It's
even
called
say that yet?
No, it's called Shattered Mentality.
I love that. And if
I
I
actually have it right here.
if we would like to,
Yeah,
yes, where
I
can I
totally
get
say.
one?
So you can go, I have a link on my Instagram, but if you don't have Instagram or whatever the case is, go to darkartpoetry.com. You'll find all the links to my books. If you really want to go to a simpler, go to Amazon and type in Shattered
Yes,
Mentality. Yeah.
that's awesome. It's on Amazon. That's awesome. That's so
Yeah, it's
exciting.
on Amazon, it's on Barnes& and Noble, Walmart.com, a few other places. I'm trying to get into Target, but we'll see.
I'm super proud of you. Like that's so great. It's
Thank you.
what you did with the book is kind of what I feel like I wanted to do with my podcast. Like I just
For
wanted
sure.
to make sure that people didn't feel alone after whatever transitioning parts of their life that they're going through.
Right.
So I'm glad that we were able, and it's crazy because we've known each other for a really long time.
A long time.
Yeah, because the kids are babies. Our kids kind of were babies
Literally.
together.
I was
Um,
just watching a video the other day when we were at your house and you put together that whole baby reveal. And it was so
I
awesome. Like it was so
know,
crazy. And I was like, whoa, that was so long ago,
so
dude.
long ago. I don't even like remember parts of my life. I was so unhappy then.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I
and it's
understand.
like
I understand.
I look back and it's like no one really realized it, and it was no one's fault, but definitely in a better space mentally than I remember being when I was in California.
Good.
Um,
You look a lot
so
happier too, for
I
sure.
feel yes, happier, yes, definitely. So when
Good.
you got out of the military, what was your first initial hardest struggles, would you say?
I would say being accepted back into like a civilian type of living. It was weird.
Sorry,
I mean, you
Michaela
go
said
from,
it's 8 years
yeah,
together. That's
dude,
what I was
that's
asking.
crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. I
I know.
did see a
I know.
comment on here earlier about if I have
Oh,
an audio version. I do not have an audio version. I was looking into it, and honestly, I'm probably going to go with the audio version for my second book that will be released next year. Um, but
okay.
I have an ebook version. It's on Kindle. You can find that on Amazon as well. But I'm working on understanding the audiobooks a little more.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry. So I asked you another question.
Yeah, what was
Your
it?
biggest struggles after
Right.
getting out.
Okay. Acceptance. Um, I we're so used to being told what to do all the time, right? Like you come from like for me, I came from straight out of high school. Like I signed up for the debt program when I was 17 and I left right out of high school about 2 weeks after graduating. So you go from coming from these structured lives and like I'm unsure like everyone comes from a different background, right? But growing up in a structured home in a very strict home, I went from this one family to a bigger family, but a different type of family. So I grew really close to all these guys and I was accepted by all my Marines and I loved my Marines and and I learned a lot from them. Um, so getting out was hard for missing those people. Um, it was weird going from that structure to going to having freedom and understanding yourself and wanting to be more successful and doing your own thing rather than somebody else trying to pave your own success.
Right.
But it was a struggle trying to get to know people, fitting in. Um, my vocabulary was different. I realized I
Oh,
had to go to construction
yeah.
because that's about where I fit in. So
It's when you get
yeah,
phone calls
it was different.
at schools because of their language that you
Oh
really.
my God, yes, yes,
Okay, water break. Yeah, all that time.
yeah.
Mm.
Do you mind if I smoke on here?
No, I don't care.
Okay,
You
I'm
see.
definitely probably gonna drink more water.
Okay. So, what is your next book about? Similar concept where you're just writing down poetry and art?
Yeah. So my next book is called BPD and Me. It is based upon my struggles with my newest diagnosis of borderline personality disorder. Um, it's a different type of poetry. I'm writing a lot more about like my relationship with my wife and like how, being together for 12 years has looked and the ups and downs of
So
relationships
your
and the ups and
guys'
downs of,
relationship is beautiful,
thank you.
and I like how raw you guys are about the realities of your relationship. And I mean, obviously, she's one of my best
Yeah,
friends, and I miss her very dearly. But
for sure.
um, I love how involved you two are with each other, and I think that that is something important that we should discuss. Is
For
like
sure.
how your partners can help, or how you feel like your partners have how has Michaela helped you? Sorry, I'm
She's
sorry.
helped me. No, you're good. You're good. Um, Man, she's helped me in a lot of ways. When I first met her, it was kind of weird because like she was out of my league. Like I was this weird boy. Like I was this country wannabe, right? From Idaho. Like I lived this different life and then I came to Vancouver and like it was a totally different style of people and like I didn't really know how to fit in and I was weird to her, but I had her interest. And like the day I met her, like something told me that like I was going to be with her. And it ended up happening, but how it happened was we were the best of friends before we were anything. Like I had a really good friend,
Right.
and
Yeah, I
it
think that's super important.
friendship is really important, and that's even 12 years later, it's something that we're still trying to really hold on to, is a friendship.
Yeah, I
But
think you guys do a great job.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, she's helped me in a lot of ways. She's been my rock. She's told me when I'm fucked up. She's been the reason I've gotten, the help from
But
checking
you don't
myself into the
miss.
psych ward. Yeah, like I have gone through these times and not realizing where I'm at mentally, and she's been my balance, right? And maybe that's a Libra in her, but
Hey, other
yeah,
Libra. Awesome.
exactly, exactly.
I
But
mean, it's
she's
sometimes
she's
I think
just
it
she
has to be. That's the language that people like to understand. Is that especially Marines? Do you
for
drink
sure.
anymore?
I do, unfortunately.
Occasionally,
Yeah,
because it's such a.
occasionally.
I do too. I social, yeah, and I feel like the drinking culture is very strong in the military, and that
Hmm.
sometimes people resort to that instead of getting help.
For sure.
Um, because it's social more socially cool to be like, oh, let's go drink and have fun instead of like, oh, I'm gonna go talk to somebody about these problems that I don't even want to think about.
For sure. For sure. It's easier to drown your pain than actually fucking face your pain, right?
100%.
Yeah.
That's what I found with art, though. Like you did with poetry, which is art 100%. And
Yeah.
when I
Your
paint
art
and
is
stuff
crazy.
like that, it's like an outlet. It's my way of being able to. I always the key to mental health is having some sort of outlet for creativity, because if you're if you can source that energy somewhere specific, then you can people can relate. You can express
For
it.
sure. For sure. And it's a huge distraction tool. Like that's a huge coping strategy for a lot of people is distraction. Like if you feel like there's a lot of shit going on in your head, it's really
Or
easy for you to like,
organizing it, writing it down, or
for sure.
painting, or
For
doing
sure.
something else. People even use the gym
Oh,
because you can
for sure.
put everything into the gym and be worried about that in that moment
For
instead
sure.
of issues. But people should talk to people,
I agree.
even though if you have coping, you can obviously it's great to have outlets. But if you're not speaking to someone regularly, even if it's not, I prefer if it was a professional, but even if it's you don't have some like a wife or a mother or anyone that you have some sort of outlet to, I think that's important.
It is. It's extremely important, you know. It's really easy to be alone and especially like when you're in your head, you know, it's feeling lonely starts a lot of intrusive thoughts.
And if you're not telling people, people don't know always. Just like
Yeah.
people can't read your mind. They want to
Yes.
know what's if there's people that care. Someone
Hmm.
always cares.
For sure.
Okay, did you want to talk a little bit about what the process was to getting your book published?
Yeah,
Just like a little bit, if someone's maybe looking the route to do that.
for sure. So basically what you want to have is like a basic understanding and plan of what your book is going to look like. Um, it's kind of cool because I've worked with two different publishing companies now, so I get to know the process a little different from a not so professional publisher to a completely outstanding publisher.
Right.
Um, but process is you basically get your writing together of what you want to do, or if you have an idea and you want somebody to put together a book for you, you can also do that with ghostwriters. I'm not a huge fan of that. I think the word should really come from
Yeah.
yourself.
Um,
Um,
oh wait, wait, you just like have an idea and then they write the words?
literally, you put ideas into like a book and you give them the ideas of how you want this book to look, and other
Oh,
people
and then
can
they
literally
take
write
it.
a book.
Well,
I
I
think
didn't
they
know that.
they take ownership for like half the writing, or there's some type of ways around that, I guess. But yeah, it's very interesting.
So we didn't
Yeah,
start.
so no, no. I refuse to have any of my poetry touched. Like I even with my publishing experience, they go over like grammatical errors and like obviously screen it for editing.
Do
But
they like? Do you have to like check through it? Like, do you have to verify all the
yes.
stuff that they're? Okay.
Yeah, so it's honestly like going to school. It's like a school assignment. You turn in your manuscript and they read it, they correct it, whatever's wrong with it, they circle it, highlight it, they basically grade it, right?
It's
As
kind of
a
weird
paper.
if you think
It's
about it.
interesting.
Yeah,
It's very interesting.
because it's like you, it's if you're writing your thoughts down in the order in which you say them, how can they say that it's wrong? It's kind of like art teaching art. I've always thought that was weird because like it's so subjective. Anything
Right.
can be
How do you
art.
teach like creativity to somebody? Like
No,
somebody is creative. You can't
yeah.
teach that. That's in
So
their
someone's
head, you
gonna
know?
go through this and be like, you wrote this. And no, 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 no. That's not what you wrote.
Literally.
Fix that. That's
Literally, yeah, for sure.
okay.
It
That's
was,
awesome. So
yeah.
then they check it, and then they're like, all right, no more grammatical errors. And then,
Pretty much. So they send it to you for approval, and then you turn in your image or your idea for your design cover, and they'll either enhance it, edit it how you want it, or they'll, you know, you can make your own cover design essentially. And then you go through the process of what you would like your interior pages to look like, dedications, stuff like that. And then you'll put together like a little about the author page, that obviously it's self-explanatory, I guess, on that
right.
one. But
How did you go about picking your cover? Because I really like that with the left hand.
um, so the hand with the heart in the middle was originally created. It was hashtag loving hand. that I kind of created from my old mental health age. And it was to really signify, I mean, like reaching out and having that loving hand, being there for people can honestly save a lot of lives. And
Oh, I love that so much. That's so beautiful. I
for
really
sure,
love that.
thank you.
I like how you can connect like even something that maybe isn't quite involved anymore, but keep
Hmm.
your past and your history with you
For
like
sure,
as you keep going. Love
for
that.
sure, absolutely.
Um, so what about when you after you got your book published, when you wanted to start kind of getting it out there, where did you start? Like how did you get on Amazon? How did you do all that?
So the publishing company takes care of
Okay.
that. Um, yeah, they basically take care of all the contracts that they have, and sign the contracts, whatever the case is. And then from there, I just did my own marketing. I kind of did the social media marketing, word of mouth type deal.
Yeah.
I didn't really believe in like this wide scale marketing with this book because it was something very
I
vulnerable with me and like
know.
something I just wanted to reach one person, right? Like
Right.
I didn't care about how many people it
It's
would
more like
reach. It was
here
more so
you need this, not like
exactly,
take it.
exactly.
Everyone
It was more
freaking
so for myself. Like I just wanted to prove that I could do something.
yeah.
Like I came out of a really dark like 2 year depression and I wanted to prove like, hey, I can be productive. I can actually do something, and it was more so just to prove to myself that I could
I'm
do it.
excited because I'm excited to get mine now and read it because I
Yeah, for
really
sure.
it's so beautiful.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to come today.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
is there anything else that you wanted that maybe I should have asked you that you wanted to make sure to tell people about your book or what you're doing now?
Um, I don't really think so.
No?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I really
Yeah,
appreciate this.
for
This is
sure.
perfect. This is perfect because my voice is already kind of going in and out, so I'm not
Yes.
talking longer than 20, 30 minutes is perfect.
It's okay. I shouldn't have smoked anyways because I feel like my lip is literally sticking to
I
my
know.
teeth. Like,
Me too. I feel
I,
like every 2 seconds you're taking like a bottle of heat.
dude, I know, literally. Like, I'm so sorry.
No, that's awesome. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. And
For
what I'm
sure.
going to do with this audio is I'm going to post this audio on my Thank Me for My Cervix podcast.
Okay.
And that's how I'm going to start trying to do these. And I mean, my first live ever, it was like 4 to 7 people the whole time. So I'm super
That's
stoked about
awesome.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's rad, dude.
So,
That's super rad.
I'm going to try to get more regular about this. I love you guys, and you both make me so proud. You, Michaela, I love you.
I love you too, babe.
All right. Thank you so much, Tobias. And
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'm gonna link everything in this, and I'm gonna share it on the page and stuff. Okay.
Okay, cool. Sounds
All
good.
right. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Later,
Bye.
dude.